I don't mind making these films because it's quite good fun. I mean, I'd rather use video cameras, but you know, this way we can actually contact the rest of the world. Well, we probably won't because no one will ever watch this shit. You were talking about something, weren't you? Take the camera. I'm not going to fucking hold it for you. Young ones.
Yeah, the young ones. Have you ever seen the young ones?
Oh, I used to watch it all the time. I grew up with the young ones.
Fucking brilliant, isn't it?
I remember 1980. I remember 1980, sort of like when the Channel 4 first started, and he had everything on that. You had the Comic Strip Presents was the beginning of the young ones. Was Comic Strip Presents in the 1980s on Channel 4. I'd go mad and Dorset and shit. And then the young ones on BBC Two. That was really funny. Yeah. I don't know if I feel like talking. You talk. I don't really feel like talking.
Yeah, man. I think the young ones is good. Just another perfect example of great British comedy, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, we made this Jackson movie.
Oh no.
Go on, Jackson. You made it.
Nah.
Yeah.
My phone's ringing. You take over quickly. Hello. Hello, what are you doing? Huh? Yeah. Huh? Yeah, man. What you doing? You going to sleep? Alright. Alright, we'll call you tomorrow, innit? Huh? Bye-bye. Oh yeah, I forgot, yeah, I'm gonna come to you. Huh?
Don't talk to me about life. First 10 million years were the worst. Then the second 10 million years. I didn't enjoy them at all.
What's that?
A third 10 million years. They were not much fun. I think the most interesting conversation I had was with a parking meter.
With a parking meter? What did you say to the parking meter? Did it reply?
It said £2.50 please.
£2.
It was a very depressed parking meter.
Was it?
Yeah, we had quite an interesting conversation actually. But, you know, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to open the doors for you? Do you want me to stand there and kiss your fucking ass? I've not been very happy lately. I'm going through a little bit of a depression. Like, because my dad's on kidney dialysis, you see. You know, everybody's worried about the end of the world. Don't talk to me about the end of the world, and you can talk to this microphone as well, you know. The end of the world? Don't talk to me about the end of the world.
The end of the
I
world.
mean, they've destroyed the television. You ever heard of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yeah.
They've destroyed the television. They've destroyed the analog television. They've destroyed the VHS video recorder. They've destroyed the record player. Don't talk to me about the end of the world. My fucking dad's a robot now, near enough. My dad's sort of like a cybernetic man now, because my dad's on fucking kidney dialysis. So don't fucking talk to me about the end of the fucking world, man. I just hope we live long enough to get there. Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Big Bang Burger Bar. I just finished my stint at the end of the universe. So welcome now to the Big Bang Burger Bar. We have a wonderful show for you tonight.
Do you want fries with that?
I don't know, are they French fries or German ones?
French fries, of course.
Oh, right.
We're in the burger shop, aren't we?
Oh?
Yeah.
I wish I ain't got the money to buy a burger.
That's right, they're all free.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have real food again. I mean, real seafood.
Yeah, a proper meal, innit?
Wouldn't it be nice to have a real
With
roast
everything on
dinner?
it.
Something
Yeah.
like a roast dinner, Yorkshire pudding,
Everything.
beef and Yorkshire pudding.
The plate piled
roast
up
potatoes.
like this.
Can you imagine
big?
when we could afford? Do you remember when we could afford to eat real food?
No.
I can't.
I've eaten
What do you eat every day, Jack?
Huh?
What do you eat every day? What do you eat every day?
Shit, because that's all I can afford. Is things that cost like £1 that have been processed and artificial.
Like what?
Like pizzas, kebabs, chips.
Yeah.
Just, you know, the usual
All I eat
shit.
is Savoy and chips every day now. I just can't bother to cook. I get hungry sort of, but I just have a cereal if I get hungry. But I'm pissed off with this fucking food. I mean, I work full time. Don't get me wrong. I'm a postman, right? And I have a sort of Savoy and chips every day. And I'm thinking, when was the last time you could afford to eat a real roast dinner? You know, like with a roast beef joint on the table. You know, and he's sitting around the table with a roast beef joint, carving up the beef with Yorkshire pudding and roast potatoes and broccoli and cabbage and peas with gravy and mustard and horseradish sauce. Can you actually remember the last time you had a really decent roast dinner?
I can't.
Well, apart from Christmas.
But
Because actually, Ginger cooks a nice Christmas dinner, actually. Yeah. Ginger's cooked me a few nice Christmas dinners. What's the gingerbread man? What?
Like, even at Christmas, yeah, like, people can't afford to do the big dinners like they used to.
The people are living in poverty, man. This is Britain. This is one island. This is supposed to be Britain, man. People can't even.
Great country
but
once,
it was once, but people can't really afford to eat properly anymore. You know, they say there's a recession on, but it's the government who caused the recession. Because the government keep increasing tax. And the government make people pay more for beer, and they hide the cigarettes under the table or whatever. You know, the government is making the people suffer. The government is making the people go without, because the government are in debt. It's not our fucking problem. We're the poor people. And the more the government taxes, the poorer the people get. Life is like, outside life is like a concentration camp. Innit? Real life is like living in a fucking concentration camp. Talk.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah. So it's fucking Britain's lost what it is to be Britain.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be British. I will be till the day I fucking die. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud that I've come and I was born on this great, glorious island.
Well, it used to be a good island. Remember to use the
microphone
close to you.
But like, you know what I mean? We just don't know. There's too many people from abroad here.
There's far too much immigration.
Yeah,
I still think
our culture.
I think if you come to a country, you should have to have a job before you come. You should have a job. You should have to work. You should not get no benefits if you arrive in a country, and you should not get housed if you arrive in a country. We've talked about this before. It's on one of the other films.
Yeah,
something else. Talk about something else. Listen to music. I think. Can you hear this music? This is live radio. This is YouTube. WilliamZeebub, by the way.
WilliamZeebub.
No one else has watched this. Use the Jack. What's wrong with your fucking hands, Jack? What is wrong with your hands? Well, look. If I'm talking, point the microphone. If you're talking, point the microphone at you. It's that simple, Jack. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is that if you arrive in a country, you should have to work in the country, but the benefits should be for the people who are born in this country.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's it.
The ones who are born in this country, the ones who live in this country, you know, who are living in this country. You shouldn't have too much immigration, because, like, we're suffering, because the people are suffering. I know the people ain't got no money, but I'm only me, you know. I'm not big God. I'm only one of 5. No, I'm 4 of 5. Sorry. I'm only number 4 of 5. You see, I'm not a big God. Like, I'm only number 4 out of 5. Or you could say number 6, really, because my dad's number 1, my mum's number 2, my sister's number 3, my big brother's number 5, number 6, 4. Sorry, I've done this again before. And my big brother's number 5. That's Rob. I'm number 6, and my little brother's number 7. You ever heard of The Prisoner?
The Prisoner?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Listen to the radio. What's that saying to you?
They get to do it.
Yeah, do what?
I don't know, they're about to tell us.
Alright, so we listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, talk to me. Ask me a question, Jack. Think of a question. Ask a question. Ask a question, that's a good one.
What's the most craziest thing you've seen whilst tripping?
Flying in a giant pyramid.
Giant, really?
I was living, actually, I was in Scotland with my mate, Doug Robertson, actually. I've got a mate called Doug Robertson up in Scotland, up in Scotland. We met in Sydney, Australia, Barncloof. We met in Sydney, Australia. And I was up in Scotland one night, and I took a tab of LSD, and I was sitting in front of the fire.
Yeah.
And the flames of the fire, I was tripping on LSD. It was like a festival kind of thing. There was about sort of like 40 or 50 people there, like. And the flames of the fire turned into golden feathers, right? And these golden feathers span around me and formed a giant pyramid, like, of feathers, of golden feathers, pyramid of giant feathers. And then this giant feathered pyramid started to lift off the ground. And where the fire was a hole, and I was flying in this giant feathered pyramid like a kite kind of thing. And it was floating over the landscape, I could see the landscape below us. And I took off all my clothes and I stripped naked, and I threw my clothes into the bonfire. It was 1991 actually, it was probably 1991. And I stripped off naked and I threw all my clothes into the bonfire. It was like a festival. And I was flying around the universe in this giant golden feathered pyramid kind of thing. That was the weirdest thing. Any other question?
Shit, man. Where have you travelled in the world?
Just went to Calais for a day.
Calais? It's France, isn't it?
Yeah, France. Yeah, and they had go-karts. I don't know if it was Calais, but it was somewhere like that, you know. And they had go-karts in the streets. They had no cars. Actually, there's a little village. They went to a little village in France, near Calais. You know, we got the ferry over to France when I was a schoolboy, about 14, 15 or something. Yeah. We went to, I think, some village near Calais. And they didn't have any cars on the road. All they had was go-karts that you had to pedal. It was great fun.
Yeah, I bet it was.
The size of a car. They're about the size of a car, but they're just go-karts, and you had to pedal the go-karts because they wouldn't let cars into the road, into the village sort of thing. It's great fun, it was. Anyway, no, I've been to Australia for a year. I spent a year in Australia.
Yeah. The furthest I've been is Great Yarmouth.
Great Yarmouth, is that really?
Yeah, man.
Oh man,
I want to travel the world.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
I want to travel the world, yeah, in like one of them camper van things, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I want to go with like a few people in it.
That'd be fun.
With like 10
gypsy caravan.
Yeah. With like 10 people, go
I'd
with like 10
yeah, I'd love
people,
to do that. I'd love to do that.
Travel the whole world, man.
Like
Imagine
get
the
a
people
convoy,
you'd meet.
get a convoy, and you get sort of like a million hippies in a line in vans.
Yeah.
Do a convoy across the world like a snake. That'd be great fun. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, take my guitar and take my camera. Well, I haven't got a camera now because they've destroyed the video camera now, haven't they? They've destroyed the video camera.
The experiences you'll pick up though.
Yeah, but they've destroyed the video camera and they've destroyed the analog television now. So I can't really make movies now because I can't connect my camera to the television because they've digitalized the TV and they put a program into my TV so that I can't make analog films anymore on the television. So I'm having to make do with this YouTube, which is good. I like this YouTube. It's quite good fun for a £5 camera. So it's not bad for a £5 camera. But I'd rather have my VHS video back and my television back.
Of course, it's old school and that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But then again, I'd also like to get my dad's kidneys fixed. You know what I mean? I'm a bit pissed off about because my dad's on kidney dialysis every other day now, so I'm going to keep talking about it until somebody lifts a bloody finger. You know what I mean? We've got to live, man. No, he's a fighter, my dad is. He'll keep fighting. So anyway, yeah, what you want to talk about? Change subject, okay?
Yeah, right. What's your favourite Doctor Who episode?
Probably the my favourite Doctor Who episode is one of the old school. I've actually made a Doctor Who episode of my own with the 5 Doctors. You know the 5 Doctors?
Yeah.
Tom Baker wasn't in the 5 Doctors, so I remade it, but I added Tom Baker into the 5 Doctors sort of thing. I made my own Doctor Who stuff. connecting all the Doctors. So I mean, my own films are probably my favourites. Yeah.
Yeah.